it's time to detach and step into your unbothered era. The moment, and I mean the exact second, that you stop stressing about,
what if that person leaves? What if I don't get what I want? What about that mistake that I made? What do they think about me now?
that's when everything starts falling into place. But most people get detachment all wrong, thinking it means to be cold or indifferent, because every time you question, doubt, or cling, you're in a state of lack and desperation, and that energy repels what's already meant for you. Attachment implies resistance. This is why mastering detachment is the key to manifesting faster, attracting the right relationships, and stepping into your most magnetic self. It's not just a mindset, it's a spiritual law that shifts everything. Grab your notes or like this video so you can refer back to it later, because in this video I'm breaking it all down: how to detach emotionally, stop overthinking, and letting go in dating, manifestation, and in life. Plus I'll share the exact practices to help you embody that energy starting today. Gorgeous, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I help women step into their power, tap into their highest self, and finally release what's blocking your manifestations. If that's your vibe, you're in the right place. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and turn on the notifications, because I have so much more coming to help you step into your best self. But before we dive in, I have something very special. I've created 2 powerful digital tools designed to help you break through limiting beliefs, step into your dream self, align with the life that you deserve. Once you grab the program, it's an instant login available to you now. You can grab them separately or as a bundle for the ultimate level up in 2025. So if you're ready to shift your energy today, the link is in the description. Now let's get into it. So what is the law of detachment? Detachment is one of the most misunderstood spiritual principles. A lot of people assume that detachment means shutting off your emotions and not caring, but that couldn't be further from the truth. In reality, detachment is the art of experiencing your emotions without letting them control you. It's about letting go of attachment to the outcome, people, situations, while trusting that everything is unfolding as it should. So how do you master detachment? Here are these simple reminders. Allow others to be who they are. Stop trying to change, fix, or force connection. If someone is meant in your life, they will align with you effortlessly. So let go of the control. Allow yourself to be authentically you. Detachment from other people's opinions is the ultimate freedom. When you finally embrace your authenticity, what others think of you loses its power. Do not force situations. When you let go of the need to control every outcome, you step into a new mindset of self-sufficiency and abundance. Your life is already whole. You don't need anyone or anything to complete you. Accept uncertainty as reality. You cannot control every single situation, nor should you want to. It's exhausting. Plans change, people leave, and unexpected events happen, but that is part of life's divine order. Instead of resisting, trust the process. Know that everything happens for a reason. Even if it doesn't make sense in the moment, every loss, challenge, and disappointment is redirecting you to something better. When you truly believe this, detachment becomes effortless. Embrace it all, the good, the bad. Detachment isn't about avoiding the pain. It's about understanding that both joy and struggle serve a purpose. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Shift your mindset to, what is this teaching me? The universe, God, source, the divine, your angels, your guides, your ancestors, or whatever you want to call it or believe in, is always working in your favor. Instead of seeing difficulties as personal attacks, recognize them as necessary steps for your evolution. You might be wondering, but is detachment healthy? Does detachment mean that I don't care? How do I maintain deep connections while being detached? How do I know when it's time to let go? Girl, don't worry. We're about to get all into that in the next section. Let's dive deeper how you can practice healthy detachment while still attracting love, abundance, and success. There are so many misconceptions about detachment, and today we're clearing that up once and for all. So you might be wondering, how do I detach in a healthy way without being cold? Will detachment make me emotionally unavailable? Is it wrong to be detached in a relationship? Let's set the record straight. The first misconception is detachment is cold and uncaring, and that is completely false. Detachment is not about shutting off your emotions. It's about feeling everything without letting those feelings control you. When you're detached, you still love deeply, but your happiness isn't dependent upon another person's presence or approval. You understand that people can leave, situations can change, and life will still go on, and you will be okay. Love without attachment is the purest form of love. You're not holding on to something out of need, desperation, or fear of being alone. You're choosing them from a place of peace and self-worth. Another misconception is detachment means avoiding deep connection. You can be deeply in love with someone and be detached. If you think about it, detachment doesn't mean that you're distancing yourself emotionally. It means not clinging, not controlling, and not dependent on others for your sense of self. You can love someone while knowing that they are free to leave. You can care for someone deeply while understanding that they don't complete you. You can invest your time and energy in the relationship without losing yourself. Another misconception is attachment is true love. Society has romanticized attachment, making phrases like, I can't live without you, I go everywhere with them, we do everything together. Sounds cute, right? But in reality, attachment is rooted in fear, insecurity, and lack. Instead of I need you, detached love says, I choose you. I want you in my life, but I am whole on my own. If our journey ends, I will be okay because my happiness is not dependent on you. This kind of love is healthier and more fulfilling for you and for them. So why do we get attached in the first place? Attachment isn't about love. It's about filling a void. Most people are attached to others because they're looking for someone to validate them, heal their wounds, give them the security that they haven't found within themselves. But when you do the inner work, you no longer look to others to complete. You become your own safe space. And when you become your own safe space, detachment happens naturally. So here's some things that you can start doing today to start practicing detachment. If you spent your whole life attaching to people, ideas, outcomes, breaking free from all that, patterns might feel unnatural at first, but you can absolutely do it. And here's how. Find a new passion or goal. Focus on something that excites you, whether it's fitness, writing, or a creative hobby. That could be baking cakes or making candles. This helps you shift your energy away from attachment and into self-growth. Journal to identify your attachments. Ask yourself, what am I afraid to lose and why? Understanding the root of your attachment is the first step in releasing it. Set healthy boundaries. Create limits in areas that you have been overly attached. So for example, if you're attached to work, schedule non-work activities daily. If you're attached to your relationship, practice spending time alone to prove to yourself that you are enough. You can also use detachment affirmations. So affirmations help you rewire your mindset and shift you in a state of trust and peace. So try the following. I have everything I need in this moment. What's meant for me will always find me. I trust that the universe is working in my favor. I release the need to control everything. So being detachment isn't about being careless. It's about protecting your energy, your heart, and your peace. If someone makes you feel guilty for being detached, they are likely over-attached themselves, and that is not your burden to carry. You deserve relationships that respect your growth, independence, and personal power. In the next section, we're diving deep how to apply detachment in real life situations, relationships, friendships, careers, and more. So girl, if you think that giving detachment is giving dry responses, leaving before you get left, or never trusting anyone, let me stop you right there. That is not detachment. That's just emotional self-sabotage disguised as playing it cool. So let's talk about the real way to detach while dating without losing yourself in the process. If you're stuck in a cycle, obsessing over texts and responses, over analyzing their every move, worrying about where things are going, then you're not detached. You're trapped in scarcity and fear. The real rule here is letting go. If you're constantly chasing love, you're operating from lack, and that energy repels the very thing that you want. The moment you let go, you shift into magnetic energy, and that's where the magic happens. So how do you shift into magnetic energy? Instead of clinging to a person or an outcome, adapt to the mindset of people are experiences, not possessions. No one owes you their love, time, or forever. Be grateful for the moments now, not obsessed with controlling the outcome. Your peace is your power. If someone is distant, inconsistent, or playing games, you don't chase, you don't panic, you don't force it, you let them reveal who they are, and you decide if that aligns with you. You are your only constant. Solo dating, self-love, inner peace should always be your foundation. That way, no matter what comes and goes, you are whole. So stop obsessing over someone who isn't yours. And when it comes to dating or you're not dating anymore. Like, girl, be honest. How many times have you checked their social media today? Their stories, their likes, their new followers? I get it, you think it's a harmless thing to do, but let's be real. You're keeping yourself stuck mentally, emotionally, and energetically. You don't need another sign to let go. You need self-control. And this is how you can detach for real without spiraling or losing your power. So are you really detached or just in denial? So if you're checking their Instagram stories like it's your daily routine, stalking their page to see who they're following now, over analyzing their texts or lack of texts, even keeping hidden accounts, Finsta accounts just to check on them, then you're not detached. You're still energetically tied to them. And listen, I get it. You shared something real with this person. They made you feel things that you never felt before. But obsessing over them is not love. It's self-abandonment. And the harsh truth is that you have to stop. And I wish I had a magic wand so it could disappear for you, but there isn't one. Detachment isn't something that just happens. It's something that you have to choose every single day. If checking their social media is keeping you stuck, block them. If you have a private account or a Finsta account just to stalk them, delete it. If you're making excuses just to check on them, catch yourself and stop. The only thing that you can control is yourself, not their actions, not their feelings, not whether they come back or not. So the real question here is, are you ready to take your power back? So here's how to rewire your mindset and let go for good. You can affirm to yourself by saying, I do not chase, I attract. What's meant for me will always find me. I refuse to waste my energy on what is not mine. So challenge yourself. Unfollow, delete, block them today. And comment below what's one thing that you're letting go of today. Love doesn't hurt. Attachment does. So be honest with yourself. Are you in love with them or just the idea of them? Because if you're so fixated on someone who's barely in your life anymore, still romanticizing an ex or a situation, let me tell you something, that is not love. That's attachment. And it's time to let go. And before this video ends, you're going to understand why you keep holding on and how to detach for real without all the overthinking, false hope, and unnecessary heartbreak. Are you stuck in the idea of them if you're obsessed with their potential instead of who they actually are? Or you're romanticizing an ex long after they left, or creating a fantasy in your head that they'll come back and fix everything? Then what you're really doing is escaping your reality. You don't miss them. You miss the version of them that you created in your mind. You created this fantasy around that person. And a lot of the times you're not even in love with them. You're in love with who you thought that they could be. You built a fantasy version of them that never existed. Love doesn't hurt. Attachment does. So let's get one thing straight. Love doesn't hurt. Love doesn't betray us. Love doesn't break our hearts. What does hurt is the attachment to an idea. Attachment to how things should have been. Attachment to a future that never existed. When you let go of expectations, you free yourself to actually enjoy people for who they are in the present, not for what they could be or should be, or what you wish they were. So shift your focus back to yourself. The only person you should be obsessed with is you. Get out of denial. Stop pretending that they were perfect or that they were the one. They weren't. Detach from the outcome. Love deeply, but don't chase a specific ending. Practice presence. Enjoy connections as they are, rather than worrying about where they're going. So let's talk about one of the biggest myths in dating and how men detach faster than women. So you've probably heard that men are logical and women are emotional. That's why guys move on quicker. But what if I told you that that is not actually entirely true? Men don't actually detach in the way that you think, and why understanding this will change on how you look at heartbreaks forever. The truth about how most men handle detachment: a lot of people assume men are just better at moving on. Men don't get as emotionally attached. Women overthink while men just keep it moving. But here's what's really happening. Men don't detach. They suppress. Women feel their emotions in the moment. Men delay their pain. That's why when they pop up years later, checking in out of nowhere, women will cry it out. They'll feel their feelings. They go through the heartbreak now. And then 6 months later, completely healed, moved on, thriving. Men, on the other hand, they push those emotions down, pretend that they're fine, distract themselves, and then 3 years later, boom, they suddenly realize that they never actually healed. That's why they come back. So what real detachment looks like? The lesson here is, don't confuse suppression with detachment. Detachment isn't ignoring your feelings, acting cold or emotionless, pretending that you don't care. Detachment is feeling emotions without being controlled by them, letting go of an attachment to an outcome, understanding that healing means processing processing, not avoiding. Men aren't an example of real detachment. It's an example of what happens when you don't heal. So if you're truly ready to detach the right way, ask yourself, am I actually healing or just avoiding my emotions? So if you're trying to manifest your dream life, but you're stuck wondering, how do I visualize and detach at the same time? Like, how am I supposed to think about it? Every night, script it, make a vision board, and somehow still let go. I get it, I had the same exact question. This is where most people block their manifestations without even realizing it. So here's how to manifest powerfully while staying fully detached, aligned, and magnetic. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools when it comes to manifestation. Every night before you go to sleep, when you're relaxed and most connected to your subconscious, you should absolutely visualize who you want to become, how you will look, feel, and live, your ideal relationships, career, lifestyle, and energy. But here's the mistake that people make often. They start obsessing.
How will this happen? What if it's not realistic? Do I have enough time? Do I have the right tools? What if it never happens?
And this is where attachment sneaks in and blocks your blessings. So how do you manifest and still be detached? Detachment doesn't mean that you never think about your desires. You can visualize them every night, write your goals down, create your vision boards, take inspired actions every day. But you are detached because you are not worried about the how. You're not trying to micromanage the universe. The rule here is simple. Make room. When you surrender the outcome and release control, you're giving the universe space to work its magic. Your desires is already seeking you as much as you are seeking them. So one of the most effective ways I've maintained detachment while manifesting is through consistent mindful journaling. You can use a simple journal or a guided journal. Script your manifesting, doing emotional and mental check-ins with yourself, processing your limiting beliefs, and doing the inner work. And I personally created a tool for this, the Goddess Abundance Reset Program, which includes the Law of Attraction program with manifestation videos about alignment between science, religion, and the Law of Attraction, the meditation collection with simple yet powerful short meditation segments, the Awaken Ascending Women program, which helps guide you step by step, self-paced on reprogramming your subconscious. And this also comes with journaling prompts for emotional self-mastery. And why does this help? Because when you journal, you process your emotions and beliefs without attachment. After your 5-minute or 10-minute nightly journaling, you're not obsessed over the outcome. You release it with confidence that it's already on the way. Practice the detachment formula for manifestation. Visualize daily, but don't force the timeline. Journal and self-reflect without trying to fix things immediately. Take inspired actions, but remain open to unexpected blessings. End every manifestation practice by saying, I trust this, or something better is already finding its way to me. Detachment is not about being passive. It's about doing the inner work, showing up for yourself, and then surrendering. You can still keep your heart open wide. You can still visualize, affirm, and script. You just don't need to micromanage the process. This is how you manifest like a goddess, effortlessly, gracefully, and powerfully. Detachment isn't just for dating or manifesting. Emotional detachment is the key to peace in every area of your life. Family, friends, strangers, opinions, your past, your future, you name it. You're not cutting people off or being cold. You're simply freeing yourself from giving your energy away to what you can't control. Most of us are unknowingly trapped by two things: the past, constantly reliving mistakes in our mind, regrets or what we used to be, or the future, worrying about where we should be, how fast can we get there, and what will people think. I'm not judging, because I used to be in that loop too, always dragging an outdated version of myself, holding on to trauma, mistakes, and cringe moments from years ago. The shift happens when you do the work and you start waking up every morning and asking yourself, if today was day one of my life, with all the wisdom that I have now, how would I show up? Because the truth is, the past isn't real, the future isn't real. The only thing that exists is right now. When you live fully in the present, you no longer waste energy, your energy, replaying memories or worrying about what's ahead. Detachment doesn't mean disconnecting emotionally or not caring. It means coming from a place of peace instead of fear, guilt, or shame. Instead of saying to yourself, I can't believe I did that. It was so stupid. Say, I honor that version of myself. They got me here. Your past self doesn't need more judgment. They needed love. And your future self, they need you to be fully present, not stuck in yesterday. Detaching from other people's opinions, especially parents, partners, friends, or strangers, we've been conditioned to chase approval, especially from family. That was me with my mother. But when you realize that your approval matters more than theirs, once you anchor your worth within yourself, criticism won't shake you. Disapproval won't derail you. External opinions will no longer define you. I tell myself daily, I know who I am. I know where I'm going. Anyone else's opinions are simply projections. Nothing more, nothing less. The moment you stop taking things personally, you stop attaching to them. That's real emotional freedom. And you can use the following affirmation. I am the only person who fully knows me. Everyone else sees me through the lens of their own fears, beliefs, and limitations. And that has nothing to do with me. Emotional detachment is about coming home, fully loving, trusting, and respecting yourself so much that no one else's opinions, approvals, holds power over you anymore. This is the mindset that will set you free, not just in relationships, but in every area of your life. So if you're ready to reclaim your power, comment below what's one thing that you're ready to detach from today. And don't forget, if you want to dive deeper, join the Reset program linked down below. It's the exact tool that I created to help you detach, heal, and step into your dream life. If you reached the end of this video, leave a heart down below. I'll see you on the next video, same time. Bye!